Head over to Adelaide, where Port Adelaide were just far too good for the Western Bulldogs. The Western Bulldogs put in one of those performances that you worry, are they just making up the numbers if they do make September? Because yesterday was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, in Port Adelaide, they're a completely different side when Rosie, Butters, Wines start playing this type of footy, and then you throw in Jason Horne-Francis. But I thought Butters and Rosie set the tone early in the first quarter. Their clearance work, their ability to find the ball, they had 32 possessions between them, kicked a goal, and they were the difference, Kane, early in the game.
Yeah, it's amazing how much time and space are allowed. So they link up between both of them, but then the ability to follow up. So this is the dual tackle from Butters and Rosie. But Rosie 18 in the first quarter. There's been some concern about his form. Largely that's just because of his body, but he really set the tone for them early. The midfield got on top and the Dogs just weren't there mentally. We'll get to those clips in a minute.
There's an intensity with which Zak Butters plays footy, Brownie, that's compelling to watch, both the way he plays itself and also the way he talks at half-time, as he does here to Mark Rasciuto on the Fox Footy coverage.
And you're having a chat to Ken just on half-time on the bench?
Yeah, just about a bit of stuff off ball. No, but I'll let the AFL look at that.
So what he's referring to there is this, and have a look at the middle of the screen there. He's with Tom Liberatore in shot there, and they both go at each other. I don't know, I don't claim to know what's happened there, other than both players were waving arms around at each other. Now, it's an issue for Zak, given that this season alone he's been fined a total of nearly $15,000. Over his career, it's $30,000. And the drama that he brings, it's intense, and so is his coach at times, and this was also seen. And I reckon this is really healthy. I love it. They've both got each other's backs here, even though it may look differently. But it's just a really strong mentor and player relationship, and he's just looking after him there, Brownie.
If you're not having those sort of conversations at a football club, you're doing it wrong. I think that is really healthy, as you said, and great insight to have him speak at half-time at Fox. I know we talk about that some players don't talk to the media, but having him speak to Mark Rasciuto at half-time was brilliant.
Well, this is just why we can't take the Western Bulldogs seriously, because for far too long they haven't rated defence and there is a lack of accountability within their team. So this is early in the first quarter. This is a Port Adelaide forward 50 stoppage, and Ollie Wines has not one player anywhere near him, so he just gives the 1-2, kicks a goal, almost game over at quarter time. The ability to Port to transition the football and any lack of forward press or defensive structure for the Western Bulldogs meant that Port Adelaide kicked 7 goals from their back half. Me just bobs up. Darcy Byrne-Jones with the run, easy uncontested mark inside forward 50. It was unbelievable. That's deep in defence. Where do Port Adelaide want to go? Through the middle. There's 3 of them lining up. Now, Mead is the player that is going to mark this footy as this plays out, but Port just go through. It is almost like a training run. You'll bob up here, you come to Boak, and then you'll go back inside to Mead, who started it all inside the corridor. Port Adelaide want to get the ball through the corridor. Surely the Western Bulldogs knew that this was coming. Then he started in the back line. He drifts forward and takes an easy uncontested mark. Houston, where's he want to go? Of course he wants to go there, but not one of those 3 Western Bulldogs players thought to shut down Ollie Wines there. And then they're gone. They're out. So their ability to do this all day, the run and carry, you're allowing Zak Butters to kick an unpressured kick inside forward 50, then this is what is going to happen. Another free kick to Ollie Lord inside forward 50. They don't rate defence. They haven't rated defence for so long, and that's why I've been so critical of the Western Bulldogs for a long time.
Is there a bigger tease in the competition right now than the Bulldogs? Because for the last 5 or 6 weeks, people are starting to talk, could they do it? Are they the team to challenge? Are they the white hope to come from just outside the 8? But with performances like that, the Sun's obviously there. But the Western Bulldogs, they do that once every 5 or 6 weeks, and you go, where were they yesterday?
They do. When they turn up with that attitude, you know that they're in all sorts of trouble. If Marcus Bontempelli doesn't play for the Western Bulldogs, they win 7 games for the year. That's how reliant they are on him. They'd had 6 out of their last 7 at Marvel Stadium. It's amazing what happens when a Victorian team actually has to travel and turn up like that. It was a disaster for the Dogs yesterday in the course of their season.
They did have issues at selection. Liam Jones was out, Cody Waitman was out, and then they lost Aaron Norton through the game, early in the game, with an off-the-ball moment with Brandon Zerk-Thatcher. And again, people can look at this and wonder what happened, but ultimately Aaron Norton was taken out of the game with concussion for what happened here. And the AFL Match Review Office is obliged to look into that. I don't claim to know.
Damo, we
Complete
can't
accident.
be suspending a player for that.
I'm just telling you, this is also James O'Donnell too, running into
Todd Marshall
there. And he also suffered a moment where he needed to be assessed with concussion. So
So you're saying they'll look at the Zerk Thatcher one?
Brownie, well, just by way of process, they will. Absolutely process. I mean,
So what do you think the outcome would be,
subbed out of the game
What do you
with
think
concussion.
the outcome would be?
O'Donnell was
I don't claim to know. But what I do know is they have a look at it again. Again, this is what, again, we can't walk past without looking at it. We can't walk past without
As a
looking at it.
defender, you need touch and feel, and that's just an
It's
accident.
almost Aaron Norton's fault for running his head into the elbow there. Like,
Well, come out and say that too. Come out and say that because he's been subbed out of the game.
Just an accident, Kane.
But
Not Norton's fault either.
No, I
an
know, but
accident,
it's clumsy from.
They've
from him as
condoned
well.
off-the-ball hits all year. I mean, we've seen Lockie Neal hit by George Hewitt and also
that
Scott
wasn't a hit,
Pendlebury.
though.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're condoning off-the-ball hits, and you get an incident like that.